How to tear apart a microwave and scrap it safely. First thing you're going to do is get yourself a bar and just pry the door open. They're just little hinges there, which is just pry open on both sides, and it comes off very simple. We're going to go ahead and take the screws off the bottom first. Bam, bam, bam. Make these light bulbs. Only one little screw holds this little motor in. Now all we do is take the sides off. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll look at the back. Okay, so we got the screws out of the side. Now the top part here, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more on the top part. This is the greasy part. A lot of grease in these things. So now we're going to turn it up, and there's going to be some bolt screws on the back. There we go. We got some more on the back here. Take these all out. We got the casing off.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger! No, Will Robinson! Danger!
Okay, on the side of the unit, here's the control panel. On the side, this is what we're looking for. You got the transformer, you got a capacitor, a transformer, the magnetron.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger! No, Will
These are the
Robinson!
things you have to be careful of. That capacitor is a high voltage capacitor. It has to be drained or shorted out first before you touch it. You always want to use heavily insulated tools. You always want to stand on a rubber mat. When you do this when you're working with high voltage capacitors, you should be on a rubber mat. You should never wear any jewelry at all. I see people doing this stuff with wedding rings on and jewelry. That's a mistake. Now the correct way is you get yourself a capacitor, a tool to drain capacitors. They got a special tool to do that, or you can put a high voltage meter on here, and when you're checking for high voltage, you put your meter on the highest voltage range, and that would slowly drain these. 2100 volts AC, made in China. Do not play around with these until they're drained. This is the side. On the bottom, you've got 3 more screws holding the transformer in. Take these screws out, get the transformer, and then we'll head on to the Magnetron. Discharge capacitor before servicing. The capacitor's out. in the transformer. That's a lot of copper in there. That's the copper. That's the main reason why you would scrap this thing, is the copper in there. The magnet. There's a magnet in the Magnetron, which I don't recommend you getting, and I'm going to show you why here in a second. Your blower is not really that difficult to get out. The blower comes out nice and easy. There's a fuse. A couple more bolts we got to take apart. Take those bolts, or not take those nuts. Loosen those nuts. Pour all your wires into a bin. So there's two nuts on the top, and there's actually 2 nuts on the bottom. Right there you are. Then there's 2 nuts on the bottom to take off. That's your Magnetron. You got to be kind of gentle taking this out of here. I might have to move that plastic thing. No, let's see if the plastic thing has to come out. No, let's see. Looks like it's going to come out. Okay, here we go. This has got the pink one. This is the dangerous one. So let me explain this to you. If this is pink, then it's got beryllium in it, barium. Beryllium, barium, copper. You do not want to, I can feel the magnet there. You do not want to disturb this pink ceramic thing here. You don't want to grind it, you don't want to break it, because that beryllium dust, if it gets into your lungs, you will get very sick. So there is a powerful magnet, 2 powerful magnets in there. You can feel it. Even right here, this thing is sticking right there. I don't recommend tearing those apart, because I don't believe it's worth you getting sick because of that beryllium in here. Right there, that pink one, that pink thing. So we got that. So now all we got left to do is we got a circuit board. We got some wiring, a couple circuit boards. We got a circuit board here, here, and most of this, rest of this is just scrap metal. So that's it. One little circuit board. We got a couple of light bulbs. That's a little motor. The rest of this is just scrap metal. It adds up, the scrap metal. You can put that in your scrap metal pile. It adds up. Let's see what else we got over here. So you got the copper coils on the transformer. A couple little circuit boards. A blower. And some scrap metal. The most important thing is not to play around with that ceramic beryllium thing right there. Don't play around with that. And also there's a capacitor over there. You Don't mess with the capacitor. Make sure you drain. Make sure you drain the capacitor. Where's the capacitor at? Oh, there it is. High voltage capacitor. That's the one that will kill you if you're not careful.